Ladies and gentlemen, rock fans from all around the world, welcome to another special episode of Musical People and Journeys, the rock album review show. Tonight, we go back to my very roots, and we are interviewing a wonderful band called ZAC and the New Men, and they are from my hometown in Neath in South Wales. Welcome, lads.
Hello.
Nice. Welcome. Right, look, starting from the beautiful man with the long hair to the left, introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm James. I play bass in ZAC and the New Men.
Hi, I'm Zach, and I sing and play lead guitar in the band.
I'm Will, and I play the drums.
My name's Ollie, and I play rhythm guitar.
Rhythm guitar! Not lead guitar, Ollie, then rhythm guitar, is it?
Yeah, rhythm guitar, yeah, no lead.
So, just for transparency, these boys hail from Neath and Swansea, which is my hometown, and I should wax lyrical about my hometown because it sits in the beautiful southwest. It's a wonderful place, Neath, boys, isn't it? We're going to describe this for our viewers here because it sits between you have to the east the industrial, once mighty industrial heartland of the smoking towers of Port Albert, and then to the west you have a wonderful metropolis of a city called Swansea, and somewhere in between we have Neath, which I think feeds culture into both areas, really, and it sits at the base of the River Neath, and which leads up to the wonderful valleys of South Wales and leads up there. It's like a gateway. It's a gateway town, isn't it, to the valleys, and I think it encapsulates all of those facets of a town. Would that wax lyrical be? Would you agree with that description?
I live there, and I think it's the place God forgot.
Fantastic words. Well, I mean, we should put that in a song, you know, definitely.
It's a good sales pitch, though.
Place that the God forgot.
It's a good sales pitch, but all good sales pitch has to have a grain and a very big diamond bit of truth to it, and I would say that as well, isn't it? So are you all hailing from Neath? I believe you also it's a combination of both Neath and Swansea. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm from Neath.
Ollie lives in the middle of nowhere.
Where do you live in, Ollie?
In a place where you can't pronounce, but it's just shortened to GCG.
That's how in the sticks it is. It's got a shortened name.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I would not pronounce that. Whatever it.
Well, I'll say it. It's Gwaun Kai Gyrwen.
There you go.
Gwaun Kai Gyrwen. There we go.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. How about you and Zach and Ollie then? Where do you guys? Sorry, Zach, where do you live? You a Neath boy or Swansea?
Well, I'm like right on the border, but we all live within about 20 minutes of each other.
Fantastic.
And my house is like the centre point between everyone, I guess. And so we all meet at mine, but I live in a place called Crichton Park in the valleys, I do.
Okay. And last but not least, where does the man in the middle live?
I live in a place called Birch Grove, which is
Birch Grove! God, yes. I remember
Birch
Birch.
the enemy, apparently. But
No, not at all. So I think you might well be the youngest band I've interviewed. So how old are you all?
20 and 21. Yeah.
Oh, babies.
Fantastic. And so, in terms of, are you all friends from college or university or school, or you are university? Are you students of life? Not university students.
Yeah, well, we all met in comprehensive. Well, 3 of us met in comprehensive, and then we kind of jammed in the music room. Wasn't a band by then. We were kind of just jamming up mime. And then the boys met James in college because they're the year above me. And James came up for a jam, and then we kind of formed a band, and that's kind of that's where it started, I guess.
It's not the most rock and roll story, but yeah, it just came about. Do you want to start a band? Yeah.
Oh, well, that's how. Like, to be honest with you, we've entered a lot of bands, and that's pretty much how a lot of bands kind of start. Really, friendship. If you start from the basis of friendship, then you're probably going to last maybe a little bit longer from that perspective. And did you all just share the love of rock, or Zach, is that your kind of going? I'm making a rock band, boys, and you're going to be part of it, or what? Is that?
Well, yeah, I think we all gather on the genre of rock. Like, we all kind of stray off from rock, but I think rock is kind of what keeps us, rock and blues is what keeps us kind of together at the core. But for me personally, I'm a blues man, hence why I'm the lead guitarist, is because when I started learning guitar, and you watch all the blues players and they do like their 20-minute solos, and I was like, oh, if I'm going to do the 20-minute solos, I need to be the front man. And so that's the only reason I sing, to be honest.
Ego.
Yeah, I just wanted to be that guy and just hold center of attention. So
listen, speaking as a CEO of a company and a salesman, there's nothing better.
God, here we go.
There's nothing better than a Welshman with an ego. Okay, because we're the best. You
didn't get where you are today.
Well, we didn't. I didn't get where I am today without an ego and being Welsh. That's the way I look at it. So why Zach and the New Men then? Is that because this is your idea, Zach, or what?
Oh, come on. There's a story here.
It was originally just me and Zach. Like during COVID, we were going back and forth writing songs and things. So my second name is New Man. So it was originally Zach, but then these two joined and made it all for the better.
It also pays homage to like Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble and Jimi Hendrix and his Band of Gypsies, that kind of format.
Oh, I love it. Zach and the New Men. Okay, I love that. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So, if I am somebody that's never listened to your music, boys, and I did listen to your music today, how would you describe your music? And don't tell me this rubbish that you had on the website about you being this all busting generic your own style. Come on, I'm going to put you on the spot. What sort of, if somebody was saying, well, what do you sound like then? Who do you think you sound like? How would you describe your music to somebody who's not heard you before?
Fuzzy pop rock.
Fuzzy pop rock.
Fuzzy.
That's the word I give you.
I like that word.
And if you don't know what fuzzy means, you just got to listen to our tracks.
And then you will know.
We have.
And so, now, I'm really pleased that I'm talking to such a youthful band, because typically, we talk to a lot of people who've been in the industry for a while, and we say, well, what's your inspiration? What bands were you listening to while you were growing up? So this must be quite fresh for you then. What was what was your inspirations? What bands were you listening to? Obviously in your early teens, maybe, that go like, I want to be on stage, I want to be like these guys, or what was your inspiration?
We all have our individual inspirations and what we've always listened to growing up individually. But as a band, setting out to kind of latch on to a scene that already exists, we were kind of striving towards that Muse, Royal Blood, Nothing But Thieves, Radiohead kind of crowd. That's the kind of way we see ourselves still heading now today. But that's our pocket we think we want to be a part of. But there's not really much of a at the lower levels, like at grassroots kind of levels. There's not really much of that scene existing, we find. But yeah, I'd say those bands are kind of our main inspirations as a band, but we've also got our own individual inspirations.
No, I mean, it's quite true, because I listened to a couple of your singles that you've done. I think it was Overtime, and I went, that's more heavier than I was potentially expecting. And then when I listened back to your album, which I listened to today, I felt it was a bit. There was a real mixture of blues and pop and deeper rock there as well. So have you decided, or are you heading to more kind of that Royal Blood kind of deeper, more heavier sound then? But I've only listened to a couple of your singles, but it seemed a bit heavier than what I was listening to on the album.
Yeah, I think what we're heading for next is a mixture between kind of a kind of pop rap kind of stuff that is kind of sprinkled in over time. Also, kind of heading in more of a classic songwriting perspective. So, think like stereophonics, that kind of songwriting and that kind of vibe mixed with what we're doing now. So more of like a stadium sound is what we're kind of heading towards. Anthem, sing along, but still trying to stay true to ourselves at the same time. So.
You know, there's nothing wrong with that. You see these bands who do 17-minute tracks, and you go like, honestly, you know, death by 1,000 cuts. To be honest with you, and it's really kind of because for me, if a band, I have cool playlists, okay, and I have 40 tracks on each cool playlist, okay, and typically I listen to 60 new albums a month. Which we review, as does Trish. Well, anywhere between 12 and 16. And if an album or an artist gets 3 tracks on one of those cool playlists, they've got to be goddamn good. In terms of my personal listening taste. And Overtime, Deeper, and Birdcage all made my cool playlist. All of them. I thought the sound was right up my alleyway. I love that. I love that deeper, that kind of lighter but deep kind of rock at the same time. So you guys, you've got me. I'm a fan. Okay, absolutely. I don't care. Just because you're from Neath is irrelevant. Oh well, it adds a little bit to it. To be perfectly frank, but absolutely fantastic. Right, I've talked enough. Now we get to the boys. I'm telling you now, this is the main part of the show. Okay,
Oh God,
the main part of the show. It's called Trish Time. All right, so Trish, fire away with your questions.
Okay. Obviously, I noticed that you were down in Southampton playing a couple of months ago. Do you find that your kind of genre fits more down south, because obviously you're playing London tomorrow rather than up north?
It's honestly, we don't quite know where our pocket is yet. Because Swansea's definitely not it. We're finding there's not much of a scene of people just going out to find new bands, I guess. Not that there's obviously a strong music scene, but there's no people seeking original music. Whereas in London, there's so many people, they just walk into a venue and find you, and so that's really lush up in London. We've built a little bit of a fan base for there, and then also towards when we did that one in Southampton, that was a really nice one because it was a much younger crowd which we were able to get out there. And I mean, having just an all young crowd is just kind of, it's such a rustic and raw experience. Like everyone's going for it because they've still got the energy for it, I guess.
What are you saying, boys?
I might not have so much energy.
Do you say we old rockers haven't got the energy to come out and see a young whippersnapper band?
I couldn't make that gig. I was really gutted as well.
That's because you had to be in bed, according to these lot, with your cup of cocoa.
I was at another gig. I can't remember where I was at now. But how did you all sort of get your start in music? Like when you were at college, were you into music, or did you go to academies, or how did it all come about?
For me, my first introduction in music would probably be when I was year 8. What's that? 13, 14, and that was just my friend at the time. He started. I think he learned Pirates of the Caribbean on piano, the theme tune. And I thought that was really cool, so I had to learn it myself. And then I learned some more songs, and then it just kind of grew when I met these boys in school as well. And they introduced me to the world of rock, I guess. Call it. I can't really remember what I was listening to before Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, bless.
Yeah.
I mean,
so have you all played instruments from an early age?
Well, I in secondary school, in music class, they all asked everybody, "Oh, does anybody already do instruments?" And because they were saying like they'd only let people who have already played an instrument. So I lied and said I want to go and play the drums.
Oh my God, I love this.
Okay. So I got in the drum room with the drum teacher, and he's like, "You have never played drums before, have you?" And I no. But he was so nice that he just took the time to teach me, and yeah, and ever since, well, I'm in this. So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do what I call my quick fire questions. So I'm going to ask one question, and each of you have to answer. Okay, so favourite film? Whoever wants to start first.
Home Alone.
Oh, good film.
I don't know.
It's hard off the top of your head, but what comes first to mind at the moment is a film called Law Abiding Citizen.
Oh, what a
I actually quite like it.
delving into the depths of Netflix. That is. James.
Probably Hunting.
Goodwill Hunting, he said.
Oh, yeah, okay. Favourite
Sorry.
food?
Oh, hold on, we got another film.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Newman. God, it's got to be a Paul Newman film.
Shawshank Redemption. Is that what it's called?
Shawshank Redemption, quality film. All old films, nothing like Marvel films or Gladiator, but no, all very, very quite eclectic. That go on.
Favourite food?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Is that with a bit of cheese on top?
Of course, yeah.
Good lad.
Yeah.
Good lad.
Pure cheddar.
Oh,
You need that.
flipping heck. Yeah, I like a good pizza. Yeah,
Quality.
just like
That.
margarita pizza.
I like a good cheese toasty. That's my go-to.
A Welsh rabbit. Get in. Is that they call it Welsh rabbit cheese toasties, eh?
It's just
Yeah.
pure. That is it. There's nothing else to it.
Yeah.
Probably like
Favourite.
Hold on, one more.
steak. Just good steak.
Good old steak.
Good steak.
Good lad.
Steak.
Those are the most bland, boring
There you
answers
go.
ever.
Oh.
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, this is the sort of things that your fans in the future will want to hear. They want to know that, So, so if you get all your groupies that want to romance you, they're going to bring in a pizza. They're going to suddenly a big nice steak will show up, and the best home cooked spaghetti bolognese. Yeah, mate, you never know.
Okay. My final question. Favourite singer?
Oh.
Sorry.
He's going to
Not
say
sorry.
ZAC, isn't he?
Yeah. My favourite singer is ZAC from ZAC. And my is Chris Cornell. Like, he's just good all rounder. So yeah, Chris Cornell.
Very, very good singer.
I'd probably say Maynard James Keenan from Tool.
Okay.
There you go. I probably I don't know. I like a lot of soul music. But I don't know. I'd probably have to go with Chris Cornell, to be honest with you. I just think just for what we do as well, just as an inspiration. But I was gonna say Aretha Franklin, but yeah, Chris Cornell.
Yeah, no. Icon.
Connor Mason.
Yeah.
But when you said soul and stuff,
Yeah.
Al Green popped to
Yeah.
mind. Al Green.
Yeah.
Well, you definitely got old souls in young heads here, haven't you?
Ooh,
Really, really
wow.
have. Home Alone and Shawshank. Wow.
That's
Okay, cool.
nice.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. Okay, Trish, any more questions?
Well, the one I always ask. Obviously, your Reinvent Me album. What is your favourite track off of that album?
That's okay for me. You're
I don't know. I got a bit bored of all of them. Now.
You got new music now, hey, right?
I know. So you always like the newest thing. If I had to pick one, I'd probably go That's Okay as well. Yeah.
I'd go Reinvent Me.
Mine's
That's mine. Thank you.
What's yours? Sorry.
The last
Reinvent Me.
heaviest one.
Okay.
Mm.
Ollie, did you say?
I said that's okay as well.
Oh, that's okay
Yeah,
as well. Well, that's okay, boys. That's all right then. So cool. Well, that's the end of Trish time. Back to my time. You mentioned it kind of interesting because you've been together what 3-4 years? Is that right? Since you've been because you launched the album in 2023. So you were together for a couple of years before that.
Yeah, so we kind of started jamming about 5 years ago together. Then we spent a year doing pub gigs, just like literally covers, and we chuck in maybe an original or two in there. And then I think we did our first originals gig 4 years ago. And then I would say we've taken it seriously for the last 3 years. So it's kind of like that 3 years where it's kind of just getting our feet, because we don't have any knowledge or prior knowledge on the music industry or how it works at all, or know anyone within it. So we've kind of just been guessing a lot of the time. And so it's 3 years to just get into the original music scene, if anything.
And where did you record the album then? Because I have to say, I mean, for a band that have been together for a year, it does look. Don't get me wrong, it feels. There is some rawness to it in terms of some of the production, but I mean, for a first album, the fact you'd only been together a couple of years or something, it's bloody good. So how did that come about? Where did you record it? I mean, and how did you fund it?
Well, because we didn't have any money at the start, I learned to do a bit of like recording and mixing, and every track you hear that's out on Spotify has been done in this room that we're sitting in right now.
Wow.
Yeah, you sometimes you can go like it's there. There's that. It's not. I wouldn't say it was polished, but I would say it's raw and it's very, very, very good. So
nice. Each song that was put out was kind of a progression of literally where we were at. So I guess our newer stuff sounds a lot better because obviously we do it ourselves. So you see like the rawness kind of fade away.
Social blur. Yeah. Oh, and it's not. Yeah, it's not meant as a criticism in that way at all. And so. So you kind of mentioned that you've found and learned your way. So how are you promoting yourselves? How are you getting your name out there, and how are you getting these gigs in London and Southampton? I mean, because you found out there's not a big enough rock scene maybe in Swansea to support for your type of music. So how are you promoting yourself? How are you getting out there?
Most of our gigs have come from supports by just literally messaging people on Instagram.
Okay.
And saying you. And once we were able to get one in London, it kind of just went from there, I guess, with the London gigs. And we kind of there's a guy called Tim who does this thing called the London Music Showcase, and he kind of does a lot of upcoming grassroots bands in all the smaller venues in London, like prestigious venues. So like you might have Hope and Anchor, Troubadour, loads of other ones, but he's really helped us and got us out into London alongside just making friends with other bands. So I guess just networking, I guess. So.
I mean,
networking.
It's kind of
it's through Instagram, I guess. Yeah.
And you obviously the band, I presume, is not funding itself. I presume you have jobs that are supporting you in the meantime, or is somehow this band can't be self-funded at the minute, can it?
No, as well. So we've got day jobs, and we also don't take any money from the band personally.
No.
It's into a band fund, which is then spent on petrol, accommodation, anything which is band related. Like all of our gear has been bought with any money we've made, and so we decided, I think it was when we did our last pub gig or something, that we weren't going to take any money from the band personally.
And what do you all do for day jobs?
I'm a teaching assistant in a primary school.
Wow. Okay. School of Rock, maybe one day. Who knows?
School of Rock.
Yeah.
Good lad.
Yeah.
Well, he's already taken in amps and stuff to play along with the kids and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I did do a lot of the agency work going around all the primary schools in the area. I found that every primary school has a dusty piano in the back of like the hall, like the storage cupboard.
Absolutely.
And this one, well, so I dragged that out like halfway down the school and put it in my classroom to play on.
There you go.
And what about the rest of the band? What do you guys do?
Yeah, so I well, the boys like to say I'm unemployed, but I'm a freelance musician. So I go and
I'll go with that.
and I go and I'm currently trying to get into cruise work as well.
Don't worry.
So yeah. So Zach's sort of in the same boat, but he's got a bit more of it because he does mixing and producing and stuff. But
I'm recording local bands and I'm doing session work as a guitarist. Having fun doing that.
Cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I draw automotive wiring harness schematics.
boring.
Yeah.
Boring.
Well, come on, he is the bass player. I mean, what do we expect? I mean, so I'm only joking. Okay, so what's next then for Zach and the New Men? Are you going to be producing a new album? Have you got any gigs lined up? Are you obviously going to be up? You say you're up in London tomorrow, is that right? So you travel up in the morning, or how does that work?
Yeah, so London tomorrow. We are up. And we're here, all of us, 412. We're going to bosh off down the M4 and go and rip a few tunes in a place called Ruse Studios. We always love playing in London because everybody's always up for a boogie. Yeah. So, but I think in terms of next for us, we've got another 2 singles coming out after the ones we've already released now. That's like a set, and that's part of an EP called Wake of the Truth. Which is only going to be available in physical format.
Right.
So we're going to release the singles one by one, so you'll be able to listen to them on Spotify as singles, and then physical format CDs, and if we can manage to get our hand on some vinyl, but that's incredibly hard. But yes, so I just feel like, especially with the new singles, I think we're carving our sound still. I think we're just really getting into it now. We've been hammering social media as well, doing all sorts of TikTok stuff and all the necessary horrific things that bands have to do these days to try and get people to see them. But yeah, I think we're umming and ahhing about doing a tour, maybe October time, our own headline tour, and who knows, we could have an album next year maybe. But I think just for now is just to get out as much music as we possibly can.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I think I re-listened to a band. I think we've reviewed somewhere in the region of 580 albums over the years now. So we've got our stuff in there, and we have. If you rate it, if you get 4 or more, you get into our Hall of Fame. And I've got to say, I think you'd have a shout at doing that. If my crew listened to it, I think you'd have a shot of getting into that. I think you've got something. I think I would encourage you to keep on going, guys, because I really genuinely think you are very talented. I love your sound. I know music is very personal, and we all like, some of my crew. There's 10 of us all together that absolutely love metalcore, and I just won't even spend the time of day listening to it, even though I'm forced to because it's part of my job.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I mean, but we all have different tastes, and you certainly fit in my personal wheelhouse for my musical taste, for definite. So I do wish you all the very best on your journey. I hope we get to talk to you again when you're big, and maybe even I can make a bolognese, cook a pizza, and take the boys out for a steak and whatever it is. I'll be absolutely delighted to do that, and hopefully we get to see you sometime as well. Thank you ever so much for joining us tonight. We do wish you very well. safe journey on the M4 tomorrow, going up to London gig. And if you want to know more, go and check out ZAC and the New Men on their website. And thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Hit the like and subscribe button, get sharing, get the name of this wonderful band out, and check them out on Spotify and Amazon Music. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much, guys, in the worlds from the valleys. Bora da, boyos.
Bora da.
Solano.